Hello ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to my analytics video for the month of, what is it, August, I think. Is it August? Yes, last month, August. So we're comparing August with July, and I must say it was a cracking month. 40% growth is roughly what it was, and you don't have to be a rocket scientist to know that 40% growth in anything is awesome. So, yeah, last month, we got so close to the 100k view mark. Ew, that was ridiculous. Now, just something of interest, my lifetime views is only, oh, actually, hold on. Well, that's a milestone right there. Past 555 channel views. Hashtag milestone achieved. I can't believe we did that already. Wow. Point being, that's 1/5. Okay? And my channel has been running for just over 12 months. So I've got 1/5 of my total views. Sorry, 1/6 call it. Let's call it 1/6 of my total views out of 1 month. That's pretty cool. So really good month. We've had a massive uptick in the views, which is excellent. Now it's off the back of a really strong break the game series. Like that's where it's coming from. You can see that I've got my tutorials, they're pulling nice numbers, and you know, it's all working nicely, but break the game is pulling the numbers, which concerns me. I'll explain that why later. But basically you can see that the top video for each is a Factorio tutorial, the speed run, or break the game. So Factorio content is killing it on my channel. Now, I'm hoping though that doesn't mean that I'm going to be just a Factorio player, because I don't want to be just the Factorio guy. I want to do extra stuff. Ooh, we're actually closing in on 1,000 videos too. Good times. Anyway, so over the course of the month, you notice that the blue line was last month, the orange line was July, the month before. We pretty much just held a really nice total. Now over the longer term, this has been trending up quite substantially. Now if I well, I don't think there's really anything to talk about here. I think that is where Break the Game actually came out, around day 18. That would make it 48. Well, probably a little bit before that actually. But you know, you can see that we're just holding a really nice view. Numbers over 2,000. Then towards the end of the month, it actually stayed over 3,000 views per day, which you really can't get better than that. Well, you could if you got over 4,000, but you know, everything's incremental. Now let's have a look, because over the longer term, that's this quarter. What about the last 90 days? That's the last 3 months. You can see that there's a fairly clear upwards trend here. You know, we've gone from a minimum of, say, 1,200 views right at the start to a minimum of, say, 3,100. If, and this is a really big if our views stay consistent, which is partly why I'm worried, because I'm willing to bet money that we're not going to stay consistent on the view counts. Like, I think that there is a drop-off coming, and I think that will line up with Break the Game. Now let's just have a look at this year, because there's been 9 months of this year so far. So you can see that there's that clear upwards trend. Obviously through the start of the year when I was offline, my views were horrible. Now if we move this further back, okay, before Christmas, you can see that before Christmas we were at levels of around, you know, we were sustaining around 2,000 views per day. So we're finally back to that and a little bit more. So this, you'll see this growth here. That was where Zisto mentioned me. And you can see that I really lost the inertia. And then building this inertia back up has been really hard. That's my best day ever, 4,196 views. I'm looking forward to beating that sometime in the next couple of months. So that's what's happened kind of this, well, over the last, you know, kind of 12 months ish, is how my views have looked. And I think that that's a pretty nice graph, actually. We're showing a pretty clear trend. The really hard thing is going to be to keep this trend going. So let's move on to subscribers. Now, this is traffic sources. We'll do traffic sources first, because this was really interesting. I visit Let's Play on Reddit, and generally it's the deaf leading the blind over there. Channels with 20 subscribers are giving advice to channels with 5 subscribers, and I find it a little bit ironic. However, there are some really good YouTubers that are there. Blitzkriegler is there. I don't know if you know Blitz, but he has put on about 100,000 subs in the course of a year, and so he's gone from about, well, actually probably more than that. He's gone from about, I reckon I started following him when he had about 25,000 subs. He's got to 125 in record time. So I've been watching him because he's killing it, right? He visits at Northern Line, Ryan Latourneau. He visits it, so I do read it because there is the occasional gem of good advice, and they're big on SEO, so the search engine optimization. However, very interestingly, if I do this, because it shows it really clearly, I was trying to puzzle it out. Okay, how do I find new people? How do they come and see me? Here's the answer, right? They seem to find me through suggested videos and also YouTube channels. This is how it seems to work. You can see that my search is non-existent, really, when you look at the fact that we got 100k views. Okay, let's call it 100k just for ease of calculations. The YouTube search accounted for 5% of my total, whereas playlists, you can see that the playlists are up at 20 to 35%. That is really, well, actually they're at about 34 to 36. There you go, because I had less views in July. So the vast majority of my views are coming from playlists. People are getting into a series, and then they're watching that series. They're going to watch. This music is great. Clever McLeod, what a guy. They're getting into a series. I've got a playlist active, so they'll watch the playlist, and that is really cool. It's not like I'm a one-hit wonder. People come in, they'll watch 2 minutes of the first series and then piss off again. Then people seem to be hanging around, which I am very excited about. Browse features, YouTube channels, suggested videos. That accounts for the vast majority of my views, and that is how people are finding me. So I was trying to equate that with the SEO, so the search message that Blitzkriegler and the entirety of our Let's Play are peddling. And I think the suggested videos is certainly a function of search. So there's this very interesting data here where it seems like, look, actually hold on, this traffic from the home page, home screen. Okay, well, I think that it's not showing up as direct search, but certainly I've been making some changes to the SEO, so maybe it is working. Appear alongside other videos, yes, okay. External, here's another interesting one, right? Because I do a fair amount of promotion off of YouTube, trying to find new viewers, and you can see that it accounts for 4% of my views. Is it worth it? Don't know. That's hard. Very hard to say whether it's worth this kind of 6%. On the face value, it doesn't look like it, but I think that it is worth it because you find new people. And if you're finding new people that you wouldn't have found otherwise, one is worth it in that regard. So if I find one extra subscriber from an external or direct source as opposed to YouTube search, I'm going to get X from YouTube search. I'm going to get X from suggested videos. Then if I can get X plus 1 because I've done a little bit extra, I think that is worth it. At least that was my thoughts on it. After initially I was like, oh, should I even be bothering? Anyway, moving right along. Subscribers, another excellent month. We cracked the 500 subscriber mark. We lost 59. Now the good news is I'm still using the attrition matrix, or the attrition ratio, to kind of get a gauge for how the channel's going with regards to retention of subscribers. And we saw a net improvement of 3%. So we had 3% less people leaving. And that's excellent, really, because it's gone from 14% in July, right? 14% in July to 11% now in August. So that is really a trend that I want to keep going. Really, I couldn't care if the subscribers gain number was 100, right? And the subscribers lost number was 0. That would make me as happy as I am right now, because that means that I've found an audience that are really, really happy with me. Nobody wants to leave, everyone's staying, and we're finding more like-minded people. Obviously, people will leave, and I don't think that that goal is realistic, because people change. Like, I could start playing games that you know, don't appeal to certain people, and of course they'll leave, and I don't blame them, because you know, you got to watch what you want to watch. You know, that's the entire beauty of YouTube, is that you can watch people that entertain you. So yeah, the subscriber numbers were very, very good. Like every day I was logging in and I'd have, you know, however many more subscribers for the day, and to see your total subscriber numbers jump so quickly, and when I say quickly, it's quickly by comparison, quickly compared to what I'm used to, then you know, that's really, really cool to see that. It's extremely rewarding. It gets me fired up to keep going. Let's have a look at some of the engagement things. Likes and dislikes. This was ridiculous. It's gone from 1,500 to 2,300, and yeah, that's really cool. That just means that I'm doing some interesting stuff, basically. And if we scroll down, we can see what got the likes. So the build code factory, not surprised to see this in here, and I'm really, really happy that people enjoyed it enough to hit the like button. It didn't get the dev notes, but 0.12 dev notes, that's pretty unfair. That's a once-off kind of thing, whereas the build code, that was more me than the, you know, Factorio devs. Like the Factorio devs, they just released an awesome update and I did a video on it, so what? The build code factory, I actually had to do something. I made a video. I had help from Gopher Atlanta, who is freaking awesome at combinators. If you need help, actually, forums, factorioforums.com. Look for Gopher Atlanta's Combinator 101 tutorial. It's excellent. Then we had the multiplayer speedrun. That was going to always get a few likes, because that was very entertaining. Then we had the how to do trains, and you'll notice that picked up a few dislikes, and same with 45, why loops are bad. Now, this came across as a rant. It wasn't a rant, it was targeted. And as a content creator, I can't say that I wasn't a little bit cynical doing that video. It's because I knew it would get a reaction. So I did the video. And in it, I tried to, you know, convey information and be informative and all of that. But I was deliberately inflammatory with some of the stuff that I said, because I knew it would get a reaction, and I wanted people to talk about how trains are done in Factorio. I didn't just want loops to be accepted as the way to do trains. I wanted to open the dialogue with a bang, and I felt the best way to do that was through no small amount of controversy. And it was funny because someone over on r/Factorio on the Reddit said it turned into a religious war, which it did approach some pretty huge proportions. We will see in the comments analytics that there were a lot of responses, and that was awesome. It was all to start a conversation, which we did, and at the end of the day, when it comes to loops, you can do either or, doesn't really matter. It's just my belief that double headers are easier to do. Then we had a little, look at this, Stonehearth. It pops in, right? 4th video for the month, 48 likes. It's pretty much as many as the Combinator Build Factory, which was a huge surprise, because Stonehearth didn't go particularly well on the view count side of things, but apparently people liked it. And that's pretty promising. And then you can see all of the break the games. We really had a good run. through the 60s and the 70s. Lots of likes pouring in, which is awesome because all of this helps me out ridiculously. That result that we saw over here with the increased subscribers numbers, and this result in particular with views, that is the direct result of increased like numbers, because YouTube has given me more juice. It's given me more edge rank juice, so it's pushing my videos higher on the suggested videos, on the browse features, so that people can see it. So that was the likes, so really good result. And on the next page we had the comments. I reckon this was why loops are bad. You can see it's quite clear that on that day we had 77 comments. You can see that the closest one was 51. So mission accomplished, basically. You can see that it had 57 comments for the month, which is the most. And then the second most was how to do trades. And, you know, seeing those kind of comment numbers, that's awesome. Like, if every single one of my videos had 50 comments, I would be pretty busy, number one, because I'd have to respond to them all. And number two, yeah, very, very happy, because that means that people are engaged, and they're interacting with me, which is what I want, and that's also why I do a fair bit on Twitch. Oh, so I think that kind of caps off the month. Thank you very much, everyone, for supporting me, and yeah, generally being pretty awesome. I'm pretty happy with how the channel sits and how we're going. You can see that over the last year and a bit now, you can see how we've grown and how we've done better. And I'm keen to continue this increase that we're seeing. If I can hold to this until I hit 10,000 subscribers, that would be a great end to the year. The goal was to hit 10,000 subscribers by the end of this year. That's not going to happen. And the intermediate goal was 5,000 before the middle of the year. Obviously, I'm fairly short. Fairly short of the mark there. Let's actually have a look here. Subscribers for the lifetime. So you can see that we're still picking up subscribers, and we're not quite back to the heady days of Christmas time, where it was ridiculous. But hopefully, you know, if we can get this total subscriber number up to, you know, say 10,000, that's what I'm aiming for. 10,000 is the subscriber goal for the channel. If I hit 10,000, I'll consider the channel to be that's my goal. Like, if we can get there, that's what I'm aiming for. If we grow beyond that, great. I don't, but it's not really make or break. The goal here is to get to 10,000, and once we're there, we'll reevaluate. But you know, hopefully we can hit 5,000 by the end of the year, because initially it was 5,000 by the middle of the year. Obviously, with the extended break that I took, we didn't get there. Had we maintained this through all the way, or even increased it, we would have been well on track for 10,000, except things didn't happen like that. But, you know, we'll keep fighting and keep working our way through. So that's the video. Thank you very much for joining me for this analytics for the month of, what was it? August. That's right, August, last month. And I look forward to seeing you around the channel. If you've got any questions about the numbers, don't hesitate to ask. I'm happy to answer what I can, as long as I don't break the YouTube terms of service.